Hello, good evening. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Oluwa Sheyi. Good evening. Please, can you hear me? Priska. Okay, Priscilla. Please, can you hear me? Is my sound okay? Please, somebody to confirm. But our live stream for today is not going to be too long. So let somebody please help me to confirm. Please confirm the sound, okay, so that we can just start. So I'm trying to adjust my. Okay, you see it's not okay. Not okay. 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 Loud. Okay, it's loud but not clear. But help us. I think it's network. Let me see. It's loud but it's not okay. Let's see. Is it better? Sound clear. Okay. God help me. Let's see. So let me try second microphone, please. Okay. Is this microphone better? I've changed the microphone. This is the first one I was using, so I've changed it to this one. So I had to use that tape to differentiate it to make sure that I know the particular microphone that is working. So is this one okay? I need somebody to please. I just pray let it be okay. Sometimes the network is is this one better? Is this second mic better? Please. Okay, it is better so much. Oluwa Shey. All right. So in today's tutorial, like I said, using our free hand. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut a six pieces skirt with a free hand. Okay. So it is a very simple process. Okay. So I'm going to use this lining fabric here to show you guys the how to do it, how to go about it. I'm going to do this. So the reason for this, like, okay, so let me make this up here. Like this. Yes. So when you want to draft a skirt, a six piece skirt, I'm going to, and we are using free hand, so I'm going to explain to you guys what you are going to need. Okay. Mm, it's my fabric. I need to excuse me. I need to cut it up now. Okay. Okay. So this one, I'm just trimming these ones out. So please don't mind me. All these ones I'm just trimming them out. So I want to there are some things that you need to put into consideration when you're dropping a six pieces skirt with a free hand. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to note your measurements. These are the measurements that you're going to be using. So we're going to note them. Okay. So for this, we're going to use a waist. So the first measurement, our waistline. So for the waist, we're going to use a waist of like 32 inches is going to be our waist, okay? And then the hip, our hip is going to be, let's use 36 for our hip. And then so those are just the two measurements, and then the length, okay? Yes, so those are like the two measurements that you need. You need your hip and your waist measurement. So please note, okay? Thank you so much. Great, thank you so much. You're welcome. So those are like the two measurements you need. Okay. And now when you want to you want to cut a six pieces skirt, you want to use your free hand. Six is usually three pieces. That's like the front is three, the back is three. Okay. So the back, because of the slit, it can be four, but normally the front is three and then the back is three. So what you are going to do when you're using a free hand, if you're using a pattern, you are going to draft like a straight skirt and then you adapt it into a line of a six pieces skirt. But when you're using a free hand, what you are going to do, you're going to be drafting them separately. What you would do is you're going to draft a mid piece, you're going to draft a middle piece. That's after drafting the middle piece or cutting, either draft or cutting, and either of the two. And then you're going to draft the side piece. So, okay. So these are the things that you're going to do. When you want to draft what you're going to do for your middle pieces, for your middle piece, because the mid piece is going to be one. For the mid piece, you're going to take a part of your measurement, okay? And then when you're drafting the side piece, you're going to put that into consideration. Let's just get started instead of plenty talk. So the first thing, what you are going to do, the way you are going to fold your fabric, you are going to use your how wide you want the down six pieces skirt to be, okay? And most times you're going to start that from your down piece, like how wide do you want your down piece to be? So that's what you are going to use your measurement. So for me, for my six pieces skirt, most times always like very full, and the fullness depends on that middle piece, how full it is. Most times I usually use like 15. Yes, I'm use like 15 inches for that down part. Okay. So for now, what we're going to do, so I'm just trying to like check it properly. Okay. So I'm going to check my, I have about 16 pieces here. So the next thing you are going to do, you're going to use your bust span measurement for the center. Can you see the way I'm folding my fabric? So you're going to fold your fabric, and there are some things you're going to put into consideration. The first thing you're going to mark your is going to be your waist area. Okay. And then from that waist area, you're going to mark your hip line. Do you understand? So you mark your hip line, and then the next part you're going to mark your knee. Very, very like the most important part. Do you get? It's like the most important part in the whole of this. So I'm going to use like 19 inches. Most times I use 19 inches or even 20. And then the next thing you're going to mark is the length, the full of your skirt. Okay, so for this, for the full length, I'm going to use like 40 or 40, 41 or 42 inches. Okay, so those are all of the measurements that I need to mark. So I'm just going to mark them out. Length, very important. And then your knee measurement. Okay, your knee measurement, the knee measurement is very, very important, because that is where you're going to create your curve from. Okay, and then your hip measurement. Okay, notice the way this side is small is okay. This side, that's this top part, is because fabric is not big. But even if your fabric is big, you're going to fold it. This center part, what you are going to use is your bust span measurement. That's like your nipple to nipple. Let me show you guys what I'm trying to explain. So when you're making a pieces skirt, the middle, you know, this part, you know, here, from here to here, like this, if it is too wide, most times it's not always fine. You understand? This side need to be, that's the shape has to come like this, and then as it's getting to your knee, it opens up. But if here, maybe between here and here is wide like this, it will not have shape. So you need the center piece to be like slim, and then it goes, it opens up. Okay, so those are some of the secret that makes your what do you call it, your skirt beautiful. Okay, so thank you. Is this person styled diva? Thank you so much. Good evening, welcome. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so these are things that you're going to put into consideration. So with doing that, I'm going to check. You understand? So make sure you always check, like check your clients. That's use their bus pan, and then that, even that bus pan, most time I can reduce it by 1 inch, but just use the bus pan. So once you use bus pan, that's okay. Okay, so let's continue. So for the bus pan that I'm using a bus pan of 8 inches. So 8 inches, and because this is folded into two, you're going to divide that into two. Okay, so for instance, so this is my bus pan now. So I'm trying to fold this so it comes out. So I'm going to mark my 8 inches, divide that into two. So I'm marking my 4 inches. So just watch what I am doing, please. Very important. So you can see I'll mark the 4 inches here, and then I'm going to come to my hip line also. I'll mark the 4 inches also. So I'll mark the 4 inches, just watch. And then once I get to my knee line, because like I told you guys, that's where like the trick of six pieces skirt is. So when it comes to skirt patterns, God has really helped me. My skirts are really amazing and beautiful. These are patterns that I've tried out and it has really been helpful. You guys should please like this video. Okay, just check this side. You see three dots. That's the like button. Click on it and like the video. It's only two people so far that have liked the video. So you guys should please like it. I would appreciate that. Okay, so now you remember we use 4 inches for the hip line and then 4 inches for the knee line and for the waistline. On this part, which is my knee line, I am going to reduce it by half. So I'm going to use 3.5 inches here. Why am I doing this? Because if I come like this 4 inches, once I come like this 4 inches, that skirt is not going to have that shape. But once I come like this 4 inches, as I'm coming here, it reduces. Just see the shape, it reduces, and then from here it opens out, so that will give it a better fit around that knee part. Okay, so that is why I use this. And then like we said initially, the down part of our skirt, that is how wide you want your skirt to be. So for this I'm going to go with about 15 inches or 14 inches. So it depends on how wide you really want your skirt to be. Okay, so after doing that, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to connect these lines together. Okay, so this line, as you're connecting it, please watch. I'm using my free hand. It's not meant to be that straight. You get, so it's not meant to be straight, okay? So I'll connect it like this. So once I connect it on this part, I am going to connect this like this. Can you see? This part now it has reduced. Do you understand? It has reduced. Is no longer coming with that 4 inches here. So once it gets to this part, I'm going to create like more curve like this. Can you see? Just watch. I am using my free hand, so I'm going to create a curve. This is the knee. So that is why the knee has to be down. And from that part, I'm going to use my straight ruler. And remember my 14 or 15 inches. So it depends on how many inches. Can you see? So I'm going to connect it to the curve that we have at that knee point. Can you see? To that curve. Remember that I'm going to connect it and then I'm going to connect it to the 15 inches here. And then I'm just going to create a curve like that. Create the flame. That's what this particular pattern, I've used it a million times and it is like this pattern. It works perfectly well. So can you see? Can you see this is the middle part of my skirt already? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut that out. What we cut out from here is what we are going to use to cut the other skirt. Okay, so I'm going to cut it. I'm going to be cutting it like this. So when you join after coupling, then you will trim. That's when you will curve out your skirt. Okay, so just watch. So on this knee part is not meant to be straight, so you're going to curve it. So and then this is the middle part of my skirt. Please take note. This is the mid part of my skirt. So I'm going to open this up for you so that you guys will see. So this is the center part. Can you see? This is the center part of my 6 pieces skirt. You see the design. You see how wide it is. So that is that. So this, we're going to use this one now to cut out the other pieces. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to use it to cut the side pieces. So when you're cutting your side pieces, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to fold your fabric again into two. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure that I still have enough fabric on my of my own. Okay, because if I don't have enough fabric, I will not be able to cut it into two. So I'm trying to refold my fabric. So let me just cut this out. And then you fold your fabric into two, okay? So I don't want to get you guys just going to go with what I have here. So you cut your fabric, you fold your fabric into two like this, okay? So when you fold your fabric into two, you're going to use this side, how wide you want your the side piece, the front piece, we use 15 inches, okay? Most times, I usually don't want the piece to be as wide as the and sorry, the side piece to be as wide as the center piece. So for this, I think we're just with maybe 14 or 13 inches, which is okay. So this is okay for my fabric. Okay, so the next thing I am going to put into consideration, since I'm going to use 13, so I'm going to use 13, so I'm going to need to fold my fabric like maybe 16 or 17. Why? I'm going to show you guys, because you're going to trim it. So I have about 15 inches here, which is okay. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to take this your middle piece that you cut, because that's how you are going to join your skirt. Do you understand? Let me just be adjusting the camera off and on. Okay. Good evening. He said, please, taffeta lining, is it good? I don't most times I don't use taffeta lining. I prefer to use plain cotton lining. I don't want wahala. If you know you can handle taffeta lining, fine, but times I use cotton. You can see these ones are real cotton. So it makes your life easy. Okay. Taffeta lining, satin lining, I don't use them. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, so I prefer to use cotton lining. Even aba lining, I don't use aba lining. That one is worse. That one can kill somebody. Okay, so let's continue. So trying to achieve here, because this is how the skirt is going to be joined together. You need to get this shape of the side of the center. You need to get it here. So what you're going to do, you're going to take this like this. So I'm going to this like this. That's like place this here, and then I'm going to pin it just to, because I need the shape. Why do I need the shape? Because that is where I'm going to join. So if you don't get that shape right, it will affect your skirt. So I'm going to pin it because I'm going to cut it out, but I need to pin it down in order for me to be able to achieve that shape of that skirt. Okay. So that was why I said, so on the knee part like this, you're going to place it too. Just watch. So you're going to place it, you're going to pin it, okay? And then after pinning it, you are going to come to this side also. Can you see? Can you see what I'm doing? Because you need this shape. You need the shape, because that is where you are going to join. This is the side piece. That's where you will join together. If you don't have the shape, it's not going to work. So you pin it. Just make sure you pin. Even this part is looking like this. Don't worry about that. And then you put this down one here like this to pin everything together. Okay. So after pinning everything, you can decide to cut straight, or if you don't want to cut straight, you can decide to use your chalk like this. If you notice I've not added any measurement, right? Did you notice I've not added any measurement? I've not added. This is the only part that we have measured. So note. So now I'm going to mark this like that. I'm trying to get the shape now on the side of my skirt, okay? So I'm trying to get that shape. So as I get to this part, I'll create this curve also, remember. And then as I'm going like this, I'm going to be getting that flare. I will navigate the flare, okay? So most times when I do this, that's why I said pin it down, okay? So pin it down. So once you have marked it like this, you have pinned it down, and then you have marked it. The next thing now, you're going to start taking your full measurement. So that is why don't cut it before you take your full measurement. Make sure everything is okay before you take your full measurement. Okay, now. So now the measurement that we're going to be working with. Okay, these are the two measurements that we say we're going to be making use of. Our waist is 32, and then the hip is 36. Okay. So now the next thing we want to do now, I want to take out our full body measurement, okay? So after placing it like this is what you are going to do. You are going to come to the waist. Remember, these are our lines that we add, that we added initially. This is our waistline, okay? And then this is our hip line. Very important, like I told you guys. And then this is the knee line. So you've now placed them here. The next thing you're going to do now, you're going to come to the waistline now. Our waist is 32. So when you divide 32 into two, you're going to have 8 inches. You're going to come to this place. Now, can you see the way I'm placing my, what do you call it? I'm placing my tape. So I need to measure 8 inches here now. You get. So I'm going to mark that 8 inches. I'm going to trim here. So definitely when you stitch, you're going to have some inches. You're going to get some inches. Please just make sure, just watch what I'm doing. You're going to get some. So put that into consideration. So that inches, you can decide to just add like half inch to it, but don't even add half inches to it. Just take it like this. Your waist is 32, divide by 4, you have 8 inches. You are going to add your stitching allowance at this point now. Very important, depends on the kind of other Q&A sticker. So come the hot dog and sandwich now. So you are going to come to this part now. you're going to add your stitching allowance. So as you're adding the stitching allowance, consider this. There are some people, they normally, where I learned how to sew, even though they are cutting 6 pieces skirt, they normally, some of the tailors there, they normally add that, but me, I don't add that. So I don't add that because this line already took care of my dad. So I don't come back and add that to anywhere. I usually don't do that. So what I'm going to do, so after marking my 8 inches now, that's 32 divided by 4, which is 8 inches. I'm going to add like 2.5 inches. Why am I adding 2.5 inches? The 2.5 inches I'm adding, 2 inches is for stitching, is for allowance. Why the half inch is the inch that is going to be lost from this side when I cut it, you understand? So with that, I've added 2.5 inches allowance. It's going to be there. I hope you understand. I'm going to come to my hip line. Can you see where I'm placing my tape? And then if I'm using 36 divided by 4, which is 9, so I'm going to mark it here like this. When I mark it, I'm going to add my stitching, the same allowance that I add down, which is 2 point. I'll add that. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to measure what I have here for my knee. Okay, so I have about like 11.5. I'm going to come to this point here, which is my knee measurements. You people know that most time they'll tell you, when was it, that your knee measurement, you reduce 2 inches from your hip to form your knee. Most times I usually don't use that because most times I like my knee of my skirt to be very slim. So because that's where like the fitting comes from. So if we're going to work with the removing 2 inches for your from your hip to form your knee, we have 11.5. So what we're going to have here is going to be 9.5 if we're going by that. But most times I usually don't go by that. Not most time, most times I usually ask my customers if you are going to be hopping public transport or if you have your own car, so I'll know how to sew the cloth for you to because of that part. And then if it's the ones that like guy, they don't want the skirt, they want it really well made, not all those kind of skirt that the down will just be open. So most times I normally take out like 3 inches, you understand? So that is where the fit comes in. Instead of 9.5, I'm going to use 9 or 8.5, or better still, well, as you're measuring your customers, measure around their knee. So that is like the best part. That's what I do. I measure around the knee. I'm going to mark it here. So once I mark it here now, the next thing I am going to do, I'm going to connect the whole of those lines together. Okay, so just watch how I am going to be doing that. So I'm going to come to this part now. I am going to join the waist. I'll connect it to the hip line. Okay, so once I connect it to the hip, and then the next thing from the hip, I'm going to bring it to the knee area. So I just want to show you guys in case you want to use your pattern. So I'll connect this now to the knee. So this, can you see the shape of the skirt already? So this part, just blend it. You don't need it sharp. Can you see? And then the next thing you're going to do from this part, you're going to remember our measurements of the down part that we used initially. So here is what you're going to do. You're going to take this and then you're just going to create a beautiful curve down this way. So after creating that beautiful curve down this way, this is our 6 pieces skirt. So the next thing we want to do, we want to curve this down part, remember. So in curving this down part, here is what you're going to do. You're just going to come up by 2 inches and then you give it a beautiful curve, and then curve that same curve it, let it come into this one also, into this center piece. Can you see? Just create a beautiful curve like that. So that is all we need. So the next thing we're going to do, you guys should please like this video. The like is very, very discouraging. You guys should please like it. So I'm going to cut the side of my skirt. So we are done, because this same part, this same what I just cut is what you are going to use for the back. The side is going to be the same. The two sides, you're not adding anything. The only thing that you're going to be adding is this middle part is what you're going to, you just add your zip allowance to it. That's a zip allowance of like 2 inches, like this. Just add it. That's all. So I've cut that part. So the next thing I am going to do now, I want to cut that shape. Remember that shape that I said it is very important. So this was why I was saying if you don't want to trace it, you can still That's if you don't want to cut it, if you don't want to mark it, you can still use your, when you pin it together, you can still use this. All I need is, I need the shape, because when I am sewing, I need it to be the same. Okay, so that is why I am cutting this way. Okay, so I'm going to check. Let's see if we can stitch it. Let me see if my inverter can carry that. I'll show you. I'll just stitch it so that we can see. So now I'm taking out that pins. So now I've cut that part out now. Okay, I've cut that part out. So let me take this off here. I want to see if I can just like give it a stitch so that you guys can see it. So that is why I'm just trying to clear the table. If not, we are done already. Okay, so I'm going to just put that out, and then I'm going to remember the curve that I added here. I'm just going to cut that out and then cut this one out also. Okay, so after cutting that, the next thing we're going to, I'll show you guys this. Okay, so I'm going to take out this table. Let's take this out, and then we're going to bring this guy close here, and then bring this guy close here also. So my skirt, my okay, no need. That part is not even, is not needed. It got a little bit truncated. I just noticed it now. See my side piece. So this part got is out. It was already out of the lining. I didn't know. So let's see. So you guys should please like the video. I would appreciate that. I'm very sure this one. Let's see happen. No, shift this in. So you guys should please like the video, okay? I would appreciate that. Okay. So now, like I said, this side got truncated, but no problem. So now we're going to stitch this. So you're going to open this up like this, okay? And then you're going to take this. You're going to take this, and then you're going to stitch. You start stitching from the top, yes. You're going to start stitching from the top. So you guys should please like my video. You guys should please like my video. I would appreciate that, okay? So you can see I'm just navigating the curves on my pieces. It's a simple process, so I'm just navigating it. So for those of you that, I'm just navigating it. The lines, everything is already there, so it is very easy. So like I said, for the back piece, the only difference between the back and the front is the center back. Just like when you're cutting your straight skirt, the only thing you're going to do is that you are adding your zip allowance, okay? So that's just the difference. You are adding your zip allowance. So that's it. And then I'm going to sew this so you can see. So now I'm going to also, this is the center piece. So I'm going to add the other one. So like I said, my fabric got a little bit truncated, but that is not an issue on the hip side. So the important part is the style line. So I'm just going to continue. I don't need to cut another one. But I've done like 30 minutes already. So I'm just stitching the other one. So like I said, please like this video. I would appreciate that. So once I get to the knee part, I am that's where the curve is. So I'm just going to navigate my curve like this, and then I continue stitching it down. It's a simple process. Just follow this method. You get a very beautiful six pieces skirt. If you don't want to make use of a pattern, but if you want to make use of a pattern, fine. Pattern will help you to know how to gauge your fabric. For me, I've been using this for since, so I can actually use the pattern and I can actually use my free hand, okay, for my skirt. I really don't have any problem with that. So this is how it is going to look. So this is the down part of my skirt. I want to show you guys how to trim it. So I'll just place this. I'm thinking of going to iron it, so I'll come and show you guys. So I'll just trim this like this, okay. No satisfied, no satisfied. Let's see. So let me show you guys. Face to face. Mhm. No satisfied until I'm looking for how to show you guys. Let's see. Let's move this baby behind a little bit. Can you guys see? So I've not ironed this, so you can see my skirt. Can you see my six pieces skirt? So just ignore this part. This part was that part I told you guys got truncated. Okay, so you can see it. So you see the down part. So that means you can even use this exact measurement. Okay, let's see. Let me bend the camera so that you see very well. You can even use this. You can even use this exact measurement. Can you see? I just want to open it. I've not ironed it. I just want to open it for you guys to see. You see, you see the down part. Can you see this? You can use this exact. You see how beautiful the skirt is. You see the shape. You can just see the shape of the skirt. Can you see the shape of the skirt of the six pieces skirt? So for those of you that don't know how to do six pieces skirt, I hope today is your lucky day. Can you see? You see how beautiful our skirt is. Let's see. Let me see if I can place it on my dress form. Dress form, I'm not sure the dress form will not give it to you. To hang it, the dress form is to hang it. So I hope you guys have been able to see it. I hope you are able to see it, okay? So this is it. So thank you so much. So we are done. We are done with our skirt for tonight. So I just want to say thank you to all of you that tuned in. Okay, so you see, this is a very simple, easy piece of cake. So thank you so much, those of you that tuned in this evening for our live stream. I just want to say thank you to you guys. I will see you guys. Let me pray it there. Thank you so much. I hope you guys will try it and send me you can send me your pictures, your videos, everything. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys. God help me tomorrow. I pray that I am able to. God bless you all. Bye. Those of you that did not like this video, it's not good. Not good. If you like my video.